Bitch!
Welcome to the Unimaginary Friendcast. This is Livestream episode 302. 302. We are your best friends.
I am Nathan Von Edmondson.
I'm Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr.
I'm DavidMonster.com, and there's a possibility that we might not be live on, and I don't know why.
On where?
Facebook. If you're on Facebook, can you let us know? If you can't get on Facebook, just go to YouTube, you faggots. God, why do you always gotta keep bothering us?
I feel if
Sorry,
we're
go
not,
ahead.
I think it's probably worth restarting.
Yeah, probably.
I can't tell. Can you guys tell if we're on Facebook or not?
We are not live on Facebook.
I don't know why. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Can
Why
you just
didn't
start it and bring it in?
I think so. Here we go. We're going for it. You ready?
Oh, then I can redo the intro since I messed up the number pretty bad.
Did you? You said 202 or something.
I did.
I think it's going live. It went live on Facebook. Can you believe it? I fixed it.
Yay.
That's not my
job.
news. That's not my news this week. That's not my news this week. Although
No,
that is
let's do
amazing.
Let's do the whole
Ready?
intro again.
Not the whole
You-
thing.
Bitch!
Bitch!
Welcome to the Unimaginary Friendcast. This is live stream episode 302. It's a conversation with your best friends. We are your best friends.
I am Nathan Von Edmondson.
I'm Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr.
And wait. And who am I? Wait, who am I?
DavidMonster.com.
I'm DavidMonster.com. I fucked that shit up.
That intro twice because I feel like that was way better. We nailed it.
Both were excellent. What I
Really?
would categorize as a 105% success.
Cool. Great. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Tonight, we have a very interesting episode tonight. You might have noticed that we've been off the air for longer than we normally are. It's been, instead of 2 weeks, it's been a few weeks. We have been meeting tirelessly night after night after night. You know, we hit 300 and went through a midlife crisis. Like, what are we doing? Let's make our show as best it can be. Let's figure out ways to engage the listeners more. Let's find out ways to reach out to more listeners. So we've been trying to improve.
So we
the
decided
show.
to go quiet for 3 weeks.
Well, we've been in secret talks.
Oh, right.
But what we realize is that's not what best friends do. Your best friends aren't going to have secrets. So we realized we actually needed to have our production meeting with you all live on the air. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to have an actual podcast production meeting, and we'd like you to participate. You do not have the meeting agenda questions. We do, but we will share them, and you can, whatever pops into your head, just let us know. But we're going to meet the shit out of tonight and try to figure out what the future of the Friendcast is with your help.
But the amazing thing about this is you can apply this to your own life, especially if you're a creative person. Every question we ask, you can apply it to your own life and grow and flourish as we do.
It was a little bit tough to hear that our midlife crisis came at episode 300. It just means that there's 300 more to go. Oh.
So, certain members of the Friendcast are taking this harder than others, but we won't share who.
We don't know who. We have no idea who. We don't know who.
We'll just move
We
on
don't
to our
know.
gold star. Or how about our breaking news first? Should we do that? Let's do breaking news.
Yeah, but you know what? We can't do breaking news unless I do this.
Oh, that's beautiful graphic.
Nice.
All right, besties, tell me what's been going on. David, are you just going to share the news that you have to drive 2 hours in traffic now? Every day. Nice.
It's not every day, but I left Burbank at 3:30 because we had this. I was doing something very important in Burbank, and we had this very, very important podcast. And it took me 2 fucking hours to get from Burbank to the West Coast studios at Playa del Rey.
Does it take you 2 hours to get there in the morning?
No, it only took me 49 minutes,
Oh,
which is too much. Which, if you're living anywhere else in the country, that's too much. It's too much, and you realize. Now I know why people hate Southern California. It is a hateable place, especially I hate it. What?
How many miles is it?
It's 28 miles.
28 miles. So
is it really that far?
That's pretty far. I was talking to someone today.
That's so far.
It's far. But where they live, no matter what time of day or time of week, 1 mile equals 1 minute.
Yeah.
Some people.
See, that's amazing. That's amazing. And they should be French kissed. We, in Southern California, especially if you have just driven 2 hours on the freeway going 28 miles, I should be able to murder people I just want to kill people. All I want out of life is just to kill people. And if I hear one more news story where it's like this person killed this person, and then they always go, oh, this is so awful. This is so awful. What evil we have to endure. How do humans not see that humans force other humans to kill people? You just force people to lose their damn minds. You just build these. And in the Valley, I have to say this one thing. People are like, I love the Valley. The Valley is great. No, you're a psychopath. The Valley is just this nest of cockroaches just crawling over everything. And Aaron and Nathan lived here, and you guys know every time you drive through the Valley, it's just this fucking shit show of people everywhere, just just coming at you. Human beings are disgusting, and if one more person says, David, human beings are wonderful, see the good in people. No, human beings, the race of human beings are hell. And it is not the psychopaths and the demons that are the most terrifying. It's the compassionate people and the kind people and the rays of sunshine that make you forget that humans right now as we're sitting here going, and people are thinking, David, just look on the bright side. People are killing other people for their land. And not in a third world country, in first world country right now.
Wait,
so
David.
Fuck all y'all.
You're just advocating killing because of traffic.
Yeah, which is 100% reasonable.
We have a listener that says 2 hours to go from Monroeville to Pittsburgh, 13 miles. I wonder if that's a regular thing
ridiculous.
Or if there's an accident or something, because that's really long.
That's terrible.
That had to. And Nancy, didn't you want to murder people? Didn't you want to kill them to death with your hands?
So Nathan always tried to spin traffic. I don't think he really believed it, but you would always bring it up that it just means that you live in a really desirable place.
Yeah, you live in a place where everyone wants to be. Like, how lucky are you, David?
I know.
I do live. I actually do live in the greatest place in the world. Like, I live on the beach, and people think like, oh, he lives near the beach. No, bitch, I live on the beach.
Yes, his front yard is sand dunes.
There's sand in my living room. Okay.
Like, more on the beach than if you lived in Venice, actually, because
100%.
Venice has
there's no boardwalk.
There's no boardwalk.
You walk off.
Oh yeah.
And you're in the beach.
There's nothing, and I should be grateful. Which automatically makes me better than all other people. And I don't care what anyone says. When people who live on the beach are better than other people, there's no doubt about that. So you're right. I am the most desirable person on the planet, Nathan. Your words are exactly correct. But I do want to tell the rest of the country something. We keep getting these reports that people have moved out of California and they're moving out in droves. Traffic is worse than it was before the pandemic.
I imagine people are moving in droves as well. Wait.
Oh, they're moving in droves. Nobody's moving out. Everybody can go to hell. Nancy says rush hour every day, morning and night. When I was working, I took a bus and slept. Oh, it took her 2 hours by bus, 13 miles. That is still pretty bad. That I don't know why you didn't want to.
That's 4 hours out of your day. That's too much.
I don't know why you didn't want to kill people, Nancy.
What you're doing now?
I spent
like 2 hours.
I spent a few years in Philly, right out of college, commuting. It was an hour and a half, both ways, by a bus/train.
It's too much.
Unless something went wrong, like I missed a connection, and then it would easily be 2 hours. And I got a lot of reading done, and a lot of writing done. But in retrospect, what the hell was
At least
I
it was a
doing?
train, and like you could
No,
sleep.
yeah, I could actually sleep.
But
and-
driving, it's like that's all. I guess you can listen to audiobooks maybe, and I know there's ways to pass that time.
Yeah.
productively, like catch up
I
with people on
read
the
a
phone
lot,
or
a lot of
whatever.
reading.
But actually, driving and taking a train are night and day. They're two different. It's apples and bananas. Like they're two different things. 100%. And yeah, you can listen to audio stuff, but you guys can attest to the fact that Southern California drivers are the worst drivers in the world. They have the worst manners, and they're just pieces of human cockroach garbage. Just the worst.
There are really bad manners in Southern California.
Yeah.
Like you put your turn signal on, and then people speed up to make sure you can't merge. That's the mentality there. It's dog eat dog. Everybody thinks that they like their trip is more important than the people all around them, and I get caught up in it. I remember being like not letting people in and wanting to be 1 second further than the person behind me because like it would make a difference. Like you get caught up in it. It sucks. It's toxic, and yucky. I don't like that at all about LA.
It is 100% toxic. And I'm going to say something really controversial, and you can all suck my dick. It's because we have.
Great.
It's because we have, and I drove in other parts of the country, and it's because we have such a
office. Oh wait, what?
It's because we have such a mix. We have every culture on the planet is in Southern California, and there is no cohesive set of manners whatsoever. There are no manners on Southern California roads because it's like refugees, like they're coming at you like cockroaches. They're fucking just out of control.
All right, Nathan, do you have any news?
That was David's news.
Nathan.
David, that was your news?
Yeah. Why? What else? What else do you want to know?
I don't know.
What?
I never mind. I have news.
Or what's your news?
Preparing to die.
What?
Oh my God, I'm so ready to die. What are you doing? I'm so ready.
Making a will, a last will and testament, and a power of attorney, and a financial power of attorney, and like a health power of attorney, and a guardianship power of attorney. And there was one, I think that might be it actually. I think it's just those 4 documents. So basically it's like when I die, what happens to my estate and wealth, all of my assets, and who has to clean up all my boxes of shit,
and who has to clean the litter boxes,
and who has to clean the litter boxes afterwards.
Yeah, are you being coerced? Is this elderly abuse? Are you being coerced by your daughter or anything?
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm signing.
She's just pushing papers in front of you.
Yeah,
or drafted the documents for us.
in crayon.
Yeah, I'm a part of this process too. It's been a hoot.
It's really expensive. Cora charges so much money for her services.
It's so expensive, which is crazy. It's like I got frustrated because of how cost prohibitive it is. Like everyone, that should be a right that everyone gets to have a will. Instead, it's thousands of dollars, and so obviously, lots of people aren't going to do that.
You can do it. I think you can do it a lot cheaper, but then
you can absolutely. Who are you doing it through? Did you guys get an attorney to do it?
Yes.
Oh, you guys should have researched more. There's way cheaper ways to do it that are just as effective.
Yeah, well,
there's not though for all that stuff with.
Yeah, we have there's a lot of layers of things.
Yeah, with having a kid, it changes it.
Yeah.
Is it mostly you just want to make sure she's taken care of, like, and see who she goes to and stuff? So do I get her? And we continue with the podcast?
Well, we were going to tell you, but we'll just tell you on the air. Yeah, you get Cora.
I thought it'd be a surprise.
She really likes
She better know how to work the board and everything, because she has to do that from now on.
You can teach her all your road rage tactics.
Right.
Oh, God.
All right. My news is that I got to knock a significant bucket list item off my... What?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I got to knock a significant bucket list item off my bucket list.
Okay.
Which is?
You guys all should know, because I posted on Unimaginary Friend. We went and saw Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh.
And it was really awesome.
You know what's so weird about this?
Nobody cares. It's
David,
fine.
do you love the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I don't care. No, I don't love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But in 1982, I want to say. Oh, wow. So 40 years ago, I was invited to their very first, it was a little show because they weren't famous yet. So 40 years to the day that Aaron saw it, I saw their first LA show.
That's cool.
That is cool.
So that's crazy. Wow, we saw the same band 40 years apart. Are they still? Yeah, what?
They were so good. They were really, really good.
They were really good.
Great
Are they still running around on stage with no clothes on and no shirts on and stuff?
Sort of.
Yeah.
No shirts.
Did you ask them not to do that anymore?
They all have raging six packs.
Yeah, they're pretty ripped.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
No, they're the musicians, the instrument players. They're super talented.
They're so good at what they do. Like the guitarist and the bassist and the drummer. Like you just take them separately, it's like mind blowing how good they are.
Yeah.
Like really, really good musicians. Like another level.
I do like that song, What It Is. Did they play What It Is? What it is, so much to be found. What it is, what a groovy sound. What it is. Did they play that?
Think so.
Oh, I would have left then.
All right, let's get into our gold star.
We left when it was over.
We did. Our gold star this week. We've been, off the air for a couple weeks now, so this is a tough one. We had a couple contenders, but we ended up having to give it to Queen Elizabeth.
Why?
Supporter of monarchy.
No, she
and
reigned
colonialism.
for 70 years and 214 days. It was the longest of any British monarch, the longest recorded of any female head of state in history, second longest verified reign in any monarch. Right? That's gold star worthy.
Didn't she get enough?
Wait, CB Actor Traveler said that Queen Elizabeth is. CB Actor Traveler says that that Queen Elizabeth is Fairfax High School's finest. I didn't know Queen Elizabeth went to Fairfax High, but good on her.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I used to hang out at there a lot because like Melrose and shit. I wonder if I hung out with her like on Melrose. All right. What I want to say is there was a fight, Aunt Josie. Aunt Josie, are you still there? There was a fight because I voted for you for Gold Star. Because guess what? Not one box.
What?
Not two boxes.
Oh, God.
But also a s'mores kit and custom-made s'more sticks.
What?
From Aunt Josie. Now, I think that's worth more than ruling England for 70 years. What do you people think?
Yeah, let's take it away.
Okay.
So, are we officially stripping Queen Elizabeth of her gold star and giving Aunt Josie a fifth unprecedented gold star?
When you ship sweets through the mail, it's definitely more important than if you die.
I also want to point out to our listeners that you cannot buy a gold star.
Well, that's up for debate. Here, so Aunt Josie, look at your computer right now.
Gold star.
That's for you, bitch. Everybody say it. 1, 2, 3. That's for you, bitch. See, we're in unison. We're like a finely tuned machine.
All right, so I'm going to put on my meeting hat. I'm going to run this production meeting. Are you ready?
You're going to run this bitch.
We have a questionnaire. We all filled it out separately. So I'll share what the category of the question is, and we will go over our responses. If there's any responses from listeners, please share them.
Yes, listeners, we want your fucking responses.
Factor that into our decision making. So the first thing is we wanted to figure out really dig deep. This is not surface level shit. This is deep. So we wanted
deep shit.
To figure out why are we doing this podcast? And there are usually around 4 categories. One is for
red zingers.
Red zingers. One is for just pleasure, like it's a hobby. or for entertaining people. Another one's to make money. One is to educate or encourage people to do something, or another one is to build a brand. So with those in mind and talking about reasons for doing this, what came up when you answered that question?
I just want to point out that Aunt Josie says, I adore you, David, that she's answering about winning the Gold Star. So she doesn't like you guys anymore because she knows that I fought for her to have the Gold Star and you guys vetoed it. That's all. We love you too, Aunt Josie.
Yeah, I mean, I have no sugar here to influence me in that direction.
Should we talk about the third runner-up?
What was
talk about what?
Governors of Texas and Florida, because like their great job shipping migrants all over the country. Like
the governor.
What a great way to get rid of your immigration problem.
The governor of Texas almost won because he got rid of all his immigrants and sent them to California. So he was close. We fought for like 3 hours but CB Actor Traveler says that Aunt Josie wins. So you have the listener support, Aunt Josie.
All right. We're in a meeting now.
Sorry.
Okay.
This very strict meeting rules starting now.
All right.
Okay.
Did you hear the first question?
Yeah. So I guess we're going to ignore what's on the screen right now. But okay, go ahead. Yeah, answer it, Nathan.
Pleasure, hobby, entertainment, money, encouraging, educating, building a brand. Why?
Well,
why would one do a podcast?
I started doing this podcast strictly because I had a dream of receiving red zingers in the mail.
Oh my gosh.
And so far, after 300 episodes, this has not panned out.
You better not say that too loudly because they just might get sent down to you.
I don't want red zingers because I'll eat them all and I'll feel really bad.
No, please don't send.
Don't send me red zingers.
Pizza.
Pizza.
No, so I started doing this because I liked podcasts and I really like things that I like the idea that you could just do this. You can just do it. So a lot of the things that I've done that were fun and successful and like fun were things that like a group of people were just like, let's do this thing. And I like that entry level of like, just do it. You just go do it. So that's what I did.
Yeah. And I liked and still liked the idea of entertaining people, but really it really always came back to I had to enjoy it, and I think that's the only reason that I'm still here, is because it's enjoyable. Right? Like I don't know how entertaining it is. Like we have some feedback from listeners, but we don't have this huge listener base that can give us like tons and tons of feedback all the time. Like we have some amazing listeners that have literally sat down with us and been like, "You need to do this, and change this." That's really helpful. So it's about, like, for me, it was about enjoyment. Like I never felt like it was going to make money. So I think like I thought really small with it from the beginning. So like that's never been an aspiration. It would have been would have been a nice side effect, but yeah.
David?
Yes, obviously we have to enjoy it, and I have enjoyed it, and I wanted a platform to say the things I wanted to say. But lately I have listened to the most successful podcasts that everybody considers, like Joe Rogan and Mark Maron and even fucking Sam Harris and all that shit. And we are just as good and just as bad as they are. And there are moments where the people I listed are unlistenable and just boring as fuck. So we can be just as boring and just as awful. So I want money now because we are just as good and just as bad as they are, and we deserve some money. And I want my money, and I want it now. And I wanna kick this bitch up to the next level. Right? Is there anybody who agrees with me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
I was also thinking about like, do we do it to educate? And that kind of stumped me because I like the podcast where we're presenting some kind of material or information. It's gotten me to research things I never would research and learn things I don't know, but I don't feel like a teacher. So I don't feel like I'm here to coach everyone and teach everyone. Like I don't think that's the point of what we're doing.
No, I think at least my point is to enlighten everyone. like so that everyone reaches enlightenment.
Have you reached enlightenment?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bitch.
No, but that's a good point about the education thing, because I think about all the topics that we've done where I think about it for myself. You don't have to think about it. I'll think about it for myself.
Right.
All the topics I've done where I actually learned something from either one of you or from doing research for a topic that I was bringing. And that's kind of fun. I do love to learn. I like finding things out and being surprised by information. And that's been really fun, actually. Right. That's been fun.
Yeah. I love discovering new things. It thrills me. It tickles me. And just like I was just in the car for 8.5 years driving here. And one of the podcasts I was listening to that I'm really into now is a podcast called You're Dead to Me. And it's this guy who brings on a professor that is an expert in a certain like specific piece of history. And they were talking about medieval animals, like what animals existed in medieval times in Europe and what animals did they think existed in medieval Europe. And the general consensus was, that I didn't know this, that people, the average person and even some scientists in medieval times absolutely thought that dragons and unicorns existed. And they thought things like that ferrets gave birth through their ears and things like that. Like, so it's just really interesting. Huh?
Were there dinosaurs in Europe?
Ever, you mean? Like millions of years ago? Yeah, there was dinosaurs everywhere. There's been dinosaurs found everywhere on the planet.
You never hear of discoveries in Europe.
You do hear about it a lot in the United States.
In the United States, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's just such a plethora here.
Well, there's a huge like dinosaur graveyard, and now it's this park in France. Yeah, there's absolutely.
Oh, it's funny I say that, because I literally just heard this on the news. I think it was in Spain that the water levels went down so low in this particular reservoir that it unearthed these old dinosaur tracks. So I had the answer in an email. We have a comment here that's actually very helpful. It says, I'm a personal fan of the informational topics you put together. I've learned from you. I've learned.
That's nice to hear, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear.
Thank you, Aunt Josie.
So if we kind of dig into the why a bit more, like, let's go back. Why did we even start this? And I'll answer because I didn't. You all decided you wanted to do a podcast, and you asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, okay. So it wasn't my brainchild. So you guys know.
Okay.
Okay. I've been wanting to do a podcast. I had a podcast before this with P.A. Wyckoff and his wife, who were on this podcast, and it was great. We faded away. I don't know why. I think it's just because they had young kids at the time, and we just stopped doing it. And it was really far away. They were far, far away. It was before the internet. We had a podcast before there were podcasts. It was before Zoom and shit. And then I had a couple of outings with you, and I remember we had a discussion in the car on the way to, you guys got tickets to the haunt at Long Beach, and you guys were like, hey, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I remember we had this discussion. I was like, this is the podcast. Why don't we do a podcast? Because I had mentioned it to you guys a couple times before that. And Erin's always lukewarm about everything, because the first thing she always says is, I don't know if I have time. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. And Nathan was like, sure, like whatever, sure, whatever. I don't know, pizza. And then he pulls off the road and we go get pizza. So I want to do, because we had good discussions already. Does any of that ring a bell?
So my recollection, David, is that we were going to a haunted house in Northern Hollywood, and we had invited you along, and we were talking, and I was like, I think we should do a podcast, because I thought we had such good conversations. So,
wait, that was someone else. You were talking to someone else, because I never went to a haunted house in North Hollywood with you. So you obviously were trying to cheat on me. Obviously.
Yeah. Did you guys because I was really listening and loving podcasts at the time, and it was fun. It was fun. That's why I wanted to do it.
It was like super fun.
And that's how it got started. And we have such a variety of topics. We've definitely struggled to figure out what our brand is or what our focus is, because it's such a variety show. But really, like, how do we dig into how do you describe the show, what we cover, and then our approach to those topics? Like that's probably more what makes us unique than actual topics themselves, because it's so diverse.
Should we talk about our new idea here or wait?
I think we should talk about this question first, and then maybe at the end of the podcast we could talk about our new idea.
We have a new idea.
I don't think we do. Anyway, I just want to say
we have an idea. Don't you listeners want to know our new idea? Okay, go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
Go for it. Yeah, what's our new idea, David? Let's just screw Aaron's meeting plans.
Hey, no. Just take it on agenda.
No, go ahead on agenda. You answer the question, Nathan. You go.
I find this question, it really points to something that I've wrestled with my entire life, being interested in so many different things. So like whenever I studied martial arts, I started studying Kung Fu, and I really enjoyed the style that I was studying, but I knew I wanted to study a whole bunch of different styles, but I felt like each style deserved, a lifetime of dedication and practice, to really master it. And that was just martial arts, but I was also interested in this thing and that thing and film and, acting and like nature and fishing and, just all these different things that I really enjoyed. So it was always hard when I heard about what a Renaissance man was for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like someone who is, it's like generally interested in and good at generally a whole bunch of stuff instead of like a master practitioner at one specific thing. But I've also wrestled with that whole concept. And with our podcast, we kind of do cover a whole bunch of different topics, but I feel like that can be a strength, but I also can't feel like it can be a weakness, because a lot of the most successful podcasts, exactly what the fuck it is. Yeah. You know exactly what it is. Like the podcast you just pitched that you listened to, David, you were like, this is a guy who gets professors who are very smart about some moment in history, and they talk about some moment in history. And that's probably what they do every episode, right? So you can explain it in 2 sentences, and you're either into it or you're not. Yeah. And that's it. And I don't think you can do that with ours.
When I tried to list out like what do we cover, it was like trending topics, current events, things that interest us, experiences, food. It's like the whole spectrum of everything. And that's partly why I think I enjoy this and have fun with it, because it can be whatever is interesting to us that week. But I think you're right that it's also been a weakness. Someone said that this is what makes the podcast so interesting. 3 loons that come together, rarely stay on topic, and are highly entertaining. I'm trying to keep everybody on topic.
I'll take that.
Thank you. No, but I'm glad you said that, CB Actor Traveler, because that aligns with our new idea. Our new idea. I'm doing that in quotes because yours is going to be like, what?
I can't wait to hear what this new idea is.
Yeah, this is great.
All right.
Great.
So,
with that in mind, what value do we bring to our beautiful audience? And this would be a great time for them to chime in.
I have no idea what value we bring, so we're going to need our listeners to tell what value we bring. Well, so please, everyone listening, please tell us what our value. I guess just what he said, my idea is that we make people laugh out loud, hopefully. If we've ever made you laugh out loud, please let us know, because I do enjoy making people laugh, and I enjoy people making me laugh. And laughter is the best medicine. What?
We've heard direct feedback from listeners about David in particular, that David is like
what
the
about
Donald
David
Trump of the podcast. So he says things that other people think but don't say out loud. But David somehow has a superpower and can just say anything he wants, and it's adorable and sweet and not horrible.
Wait, you cut out. You said I'm the what of this podcast? The
Donald Trump.
But does Donald Trump say the things? He just says the things certain people want to say.
Certain people, of course, not everyone, but he appealed to a certain subset of people that wanted to be terrible but felt like they couldn't be terrible, And we're like, oh, well, look at this guy. He's president. He can be terrible.
Yeah,
and made everyone terrible.
For the people who aligned with his point of view, he was the first big time politician who was saying out loud what ended up being his followers kind of thought, but didn't say out loud. Like they would say out loud to each other, but the politicians who they voted for and represented them wouldn't say it. And he was the first one to said it out loud, and that's why they like fell in love with him. Those who believed what he was saying.
That is a good point. If the Democrats were smart, they would do that in a more finessed way, because they could say things out loud that Republicans would agree with. Because they could say they should say like this is shit and that is shit and we need to do this and that and the other, and people would agree with that, because we can all agree that our system is rotten to the core, just rotten. Just stinks to high heaven.
I better keep us on topic.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, we entertain people. We give a little bit of information, and that's about it.
I don't think we give any value to our listeners, because not one of them has commented that we give them any value at all.
That's a good point.
If I had to be in the listeners' shoes, I would guess consistency, because we're nothing
except for these last 3 weeks.
It just was one extra week of like, we've been doing this weekly and then bi-weekly for going on 7 years.
That's true.
So if you've grown to have any interest in us or like us to any capacity, like, you know that we're here and we're going to continue to do this. And I know that a lot of our family that listens, like, feels like they're more connected to us and they feel like they get to know us better. And that's a nice value to people that already know us. And I hope that people that don't know us out there feel like they know us, and that brings value to them.
Yeah. Well, Aunt Josie says you are all incredibly smart, entertaining, hilarious, and current.
Are we? Is this just like a big fishing for compliment episode?
Yes, yes, dummy.
We need something to keep us going.
And Nancy von Edmondson says, I love getting to know you all on deeper levels every time. Aw, just what you said. That's what you said. And Nathan, read what CB Actor Traveler says.
Entertaining, informative, eclectic, and let's face it, you lose Aaron and you guys are screwed. Yeah, that's...
How? Wait, how? What?
I guess.
Can't argue with
how, bitch?
Staying on topic.
I'm the one who produces. I'm the crackerjack producer who, like, it's invisible. You don't even see behind the scenes because I'm so on it with my producing.
Moving on. Our next question we should answer is, where do we see the podcast in 1 year and then 5 years?
Ooh, that's another thing I want the listeners to weigh in on.
Wow.
I'm tired.
David?
It's okay.
Waiting for the listeners.
Yeah, we're just sitting here waiting. Let's just sit here and wait for the listeners. Okay, wait.
I would say in 1 year.
No, for us, what are our goals? We're the
these are goals.
Aaron, don't worry. When Nathan retires, we can replace him. Like,
it's funny because we've had this discussion before in a different capacity, and it's funny how different our answers were to this, because mine were like so practical, borderline like sad, and David's were like through the roof, almost crazy. So I don't know if you guys
crazy. It wasn't crazy.
Well,
Nancy von Edmondson says we have to continue the podcast at least 5 more years so that baby Velour can be on it.
I think we need a 4th host. There aren't enough of us.
Oh my god.
Wait, we can be.
She already probably can host.
She on now.
She's just.
Yeah, we can have her on. Why don't we have her guest star soon? Actually,
we'll have to do it early.
Yeah, it would have to be way earlier because she has an early bedtime.
Yeah, she's.
What's their bedtime?
7
p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So mine was like 30 more patrons
in 1 year.
In 1 year. And like 5 years, it was like maybe double that, but with sponsors. It was like just so low thinking. David yelled at me like, "You gotta think bigger."
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that I would like to see in general is more people listening, because I think the people who do listen enjoy it. So there must be more people out there who would enjoy it. And I think that's entirely a failure in our ability to market.
Totally.
So that's something that I want to see us focusing on and improving over the next number of however many episodes and so on. So in the next year, I want us to have 2 bajillion listeners.
Here, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to launch our new marketing campaign right now. Okay, everybody listening, everyone listening, you tell 2 friends, and then you tell them to tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. And in a month, we'll have 64 billion listeners.
So someone asked, how can we, your current listeners, help you get more listeners? Well, actually, I'll share the story, because the only reason we hit 400 followers on Instagram,
which is
because
amazing.
Our 300th episode Gold Star winner, Emily von Edmondson, literally, she reached out to all of her friends
with a knife to their throat
and threatened them to, and we got like 15 followers in 2 days. And which in the past has taken us 2 years to get 15 followers.
We're really bad at marketing.
So Nancy, we need you to tell 2 friends.
Like, take their phone, find us on Instagram, and press follow. You might have to physically do it for everyone you know.
Yeah. So Nancy, which 2 friends are you going to go tell right now?
I guess in the world of social media, you could like our episodes on whatever podcast you listen to. Oh wait, you listen to it. If you're listening to it live streaming, you could like the video, you could leave a comment, which you are doing, and you could share it. You could share the video.
Yeah.
That's what you can
do. Nancy von Edmondson says she only has 2 friends. That's great. So tell those 2 friends. That's perfect.
We'll see. And whether or not they start following us will determine if they remain your friend.
Ooh, okay.
Exactly.
I think the goal of having sponsors is directly correlated to followers and listeners. Like, it's very, very much the same. If we can demonstrate that we can have that a certain amount of people listen to us, then someone will want to give us money to talk about their product or whatever it is. And ideally, like, we don't have to push products that are stupid. We can push products that are really awesome, that we use and we believe in. I don't want to become a marketing alley for a bunch of assholes, but I think
this is a good question.
I think that's why social media is important.
Yeah, no, and this is a good question. Suppose a big sponsor like Spotify came to you and offered a deal, but you had to go weekly or more, not enough money to quit your jobs, but with incentives. Would you be interested? I would say yes, because I think, talking about growing, it's like, what's the point of growing? And what's the point of sponsorships? Well, I mean, ultimately it would be so that we would have more bandwidth to do the show and to produce it ever better.
And that's the thing, like, why money, why sponsors?
Right.
Is because usually when we get to this point where we're like, what can we do? We want to grow, we want to do more, we want to make it better. We get just smashed down by time. And David made fun of me before, but I'm holding down 3 jobs right now. Like, time is a serious issue. And the amount of time it takes to do boots on the ground, social media, marketing, like basically knocking on people's doors to get followers. It's like, it's a time commitment. You have to engage, you have to be on it, you have to be posting all the time. And none of us have that time. Yeah. So that is like, I feel like it's weird now. Like, it's not to take money from our friends and family. It's to like try to create space in our life to do this thing that we think brings value and that we enjoy.
The other option is to have money to throw at it, to throw at marketing, which would then start the snowball going. So they all kind of, it's like, the 2 sides can kick each other up. You get some more followers, maybe you get a sponsorship, you get a little bit of money, you can throw some money at marketing or hire someone to do that side for you, which would be ideal. So those are the kind of the things we want to kind of get going, because we would like to spend more time just doing the part that we love, which is like researching topics, and then like feeling that we have the time to engage and do the podcast. I think we would like to do it more often.
And yeah, weekly was great. We just you know, things became...
We used to do weekly. I just want to say I'm glad all the listeners are here, because I'm glad that they heard from Erin the kind of excuses that I get of screwing around, and so she can't do her job on the podcast, and that's what I'm dealing with. And I want people to know, as the producer, that that's what I deal with. And CB Actor Traveler, are you trying to tell us something? Do you have Spotify in your back pocket and you're going to pull it out? And
does he run Spotify?
I think what we'd like to do too is more episodes like the 300th.
Yeah.
Where, and we don't necessarily have to be together all the time for those, but where we're filming, we're out in the world, we're experiencing things, we're doing things. And then we can, you know, bring them into the podcast, talk about them retrospectively. But to do that, like to do the 300th with no money, no crew, all ourselves, like talk about time suck. Like, it's just not sustainable to do that moving forward unless things really change.
And also, I think like one thing that we used to do and just don't do as often, because it is a bit of a hassle, is having guests on.
Right.
And,
yeah.
you know, like we
used to do that a lot.
Yeah, we used to do it a lot. And it was always really fun. Like meeting people who are interesting and smart and have something to say is just awesome.
Yeah.
And we always had a blast with them, and they always seem to have a blast with us. And then, you know, the larger followership you have, then you can pool larger guests, more interesting guests. And like, then, you know, it'd be great where like our listeners, like, we would love it if you had this person on, we could actually get that person on.
Yeah. Right.
You know, that would be
like
really fun.
We had a great listener that reached out to us maybe a month or two ago and suggested a podcast to hook up with. And that's been on our list to research his podcast, listen to their show, and potentially reach out.
It's a great suggestion.
It's just like our to-do lists are quite long. So we did hear you though, Derek.
And Velour just has me like going through all this paperwork with this will. It's really difficult right now. Like I have to write out all of my assets in crayon.
Yeah, I know.
Stuff. What did you call it? Say it again. What did you call it?
Crayon? A crayon?
Crayon? You guys say that's East Coast. Crayon?
What do you say?
Crayon.
Crayon.
I never realized you guys were from the East Coast before.
How do you say CREEK?
CREEK? Crick. We say the crick.
You say
crick?
Really?
No, we say creek. We say creek.
What about ROOF?
We say rough.
No, you don't.
We say roof.
All right. What about
YINZ?
What is it? Yins. We say yins. Yins better get your ass back in the house. We say that a lot. Wait a minute. Okay. I just want to say one of the reasons why Nancy von Edmondson is the #1 listener of all listeners, above all listeners, is she already contacted a bunch of people, and she will continue to do so. So thank you, Nancy von Edmondson. You win another gold star.
She's like, listen to my son's podcast.
One per podcast.
Wait a minute, Nancy von Edmondson isn't worth breaking the rules for?
So this is a question, bring us back. This is a question for us, but also to our listeners, is how can we nurture our audience and keep them around? And this is like this isn't about reaching out to more people. Our current core audience that we love, our best friends.
Oh, like what do they want more of?
How do we nurture them and make them want to keep listening?
They want us to send them red zingers.
No.
Red zingers. I can't wait to take the red zingers and the s'mores and then dip the red zingers in the s'mores and eat them with the s'mores. Oh God, that sounds amazing.
Are we staying on topic? Okay.
Oh, wait, I have been considering this, and I just want to answer you by saying I don't see how it's any of your business.
Just any of these questions?
I forgot the question. Can you ask me again?
How can we nurture our audience and keep them around?
I think we need to offer them more things. What do you guys want on Patreon? We're gonna start posting on Patreon more.
That's the thing. I feel like Patreon should become a bigger thing for us, and we offer more on Patreon. We do exclusive things that we post there. Again, time commitment, but we're trying to figure out a way to wrestle this into our lives more.
More special guests. Yeah. That's a great suggestion. I agree. Guests. I agree.
We will.
What is a challenge? Oh my God, I'm like coming up with it's so hard because of
doing it live.
Reasons.
It is challenging.
Doing it live is a little difficult. It's hard for us to find a place for 3 schedules. Well, kind of 3. It's kind of 3 here, and then to add a 4th in.
But we can do it for Hooligan Mama.
Yeah. Oprah said it's less about nurturing and more about developing a community.
A community. Well, thank you, CBAC Traveler. Once again, you have hit on our new idea. CBAC Traveler is on it, bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there was a list, a part of this questionnaire that we filled out that was listing out like the single words, like what are your core values that you want or you do bring to the podcast experience. This could be something you want to bring or you already bring, but just a single word list.
Can I answer this? Because I know I have the answer that all 3 of us have agreed on, and we really, really support this and stand behind this. Obviously, our core fundamental ideal is lesbianism. And we will continue to bring that to you. And we really just want to spearhead the movement and just,
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can I just say that I re-listened to our lesbian podcast, and that is that is such a good damn podcast. And I'm going to get that lesbian back on our podcast to be a special guest.
Okay.
She has a name, David.
Her name is Jen Curcio, and she has a podcast too, and her podcast is great. And I just love her, and she's amazing. I'm sorry that Aaron and Nathan are such anti-lesbians. It is really a hard.
Idea. Have a Zoom meeting with your listeners so we can become a community by knowing who we all are. Ooh, I like that idea.
Write it down, Aaron.
How many people can you fit in StreamYard?
Or Nathan. Somebody write it down.
David, how many people can you fit in StreamYard?
I don't know. I will do research on that.
So we might not be able to do that live, but we can definitely do that on Zoom and cut it and air it.
Let me ask the listeners who are talking about this right now, would they be interested in that being an episode or just doing it like as a meet and greet and hangout? Like a hangout.
Good question.
Like a special hangout with listeners.
I think we should do both and test it out. And Nathan, did you write it down?
Write what down?
Her idea of the Zoom meet and greet. I don't know how to do it, so we'd have to.
You were the producer, David.
Yeah,
but I have my limits. Aunt Josie already thinks it's a great idea, and Nancy Mott Edmondson says Jen was wonderful. Have her again, and we will. And Nancy Mott Edmondson wants both, so write that down.
All right, I'm gonna write both.
David,
just both. Just write both somewhere. Oh my God, CB After Traveler loves it. Everybody loves it. Where's Emily Von Wilkinson, by the way? And then CB After Traveler wants both also.
All right, we're gonna plan it, but you all have to show up and do it.
All y'all, yins. How do you yins motherfuckers better show up? Did I use that correctly?
Yep. How's this?
I can't read it.
Zoom meeting episode and private hang.
Ooh,
did you write both? Because people are really into both.
All right. I think one of the last things I have here is kind of talking about our brand, the Unimaginary Friendcast brand.
This pen, I have to interrupt because this pen that I'm using is leaking ink everywhere.
Oh no! You got to watch Heartstopper and see what happens. Actually, good things happen when your pens leak.
Oh, really?
Have you people been watching Heartstopper? You people are oh my God, you people are so racist. Wait. Aunt Josie says, I'm there. What did you ask?
I didn't ask it yet because you're not listening.
I'm listening. Go.
Okay. This question's about our brand. Is what, and this is going to be probably the hardest question. What is our unique voice? What does the Unimaginary Friendcast do that no one else does?
Lesbianism.
Lesbianism. Lesbianism. I want to say my unique voice is I'm going to start actually making more jokes. Okay. I don't know. What's our brand?
What's our voice? Is the question.
What's our voice?
What is our unique voice?
Let me look. Brand, voice.
We don't have an answer.
Unique voice. I say that it's the constant push and pull of serious inquiry and irreverence while having fun and blowing off steam with your friends.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because that leads into our new idea. It's having fun with your friends. I'm gonna have more fun. That's my podcast resolution and our brand and my New Year's resolution. Have more fun. We need more fun.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
CB Actor Traveler said that please organize the dates. So he must be talking to Aaron if something needs to be organized.
I got it.
And give your audience plenty of notice and advertise. What's advertise mean?
I got you guys. Don't worry. You just sit down and with a soda and watch TV. I'll do it.
CB Actor Traveler, you think Erin's so great, but you found out her weakness.
So I have a question for Nancy Von Edmondson. Did King Charles's pen leak recently?
I don't know.
I think maybe our audio listeners who didn't get
just
to read
like
that.
King Charles, he got all flustered when his pen leaked. My pen just leaked, which brought up that comment. So when did this happen to King Charles?
Watch Heartstopper. God, how many times do I got to tell you? Watch Heartstopper. Your pen leaking could lead to a new romance.
All right. Well, I think that is our unique voice.
Okay.
Right?
All right. That's our unique voice.
And David, would you like to share our new idea?
Well, Nathan got an answer to his question. Should we?
Okay, so, King Charles, he got all peeved this past week, apparently, when his pen leaked.
Peeved. I like how she said peeved.
Queen Elizabeth would have handled it.
Well,
Handle
Nancy Von Edmondson might agree that
David
Elizabeth should have gotten the gold star, but
David, why do we call ourselves Unimaginary Friends?
I think that
opportunity.
CB Actor Traveler must either be clairvoyant or just a brilliant genius. CB Actor Traveler, which one is it? Are you clairvoyant or a brilliant genius? Okay, we are really, I want to say we're hugging our name. We're leaning into our name. Our new idea is that we are everything. We are life. We experience everything together as friends. We are your community. We are your unimaginary friend. That's what we are. Our podcast is a place you can go to be with your friends and get through the things that life is throwing at you. So if abortion is banned and rebanned and banned again, we're here for you. We're going to talk about it. If there's another scientific discovery where dogs are found out to be able to talk, we're here for you. That we're going to cover what we want and what you want as friends to get through with it. We are your community. We are your virtual friends. We are the community you can always turn to.
What are we? We are the cure for loneliness.
Yes. We are the cure for loneliness. We are the future of friendship. That's what we are. And we're here for you.
Unimaginary. If you think about obviously we know what friends are. Unimaginary. That word is so odd. So imaginary is make believe they're not there, right? So it's the opposite of that. So it's real friends, but in like another realm almost.
Yeah.
So like we are your friends, but we're virtual. We're on the internet. We're in your ears. We're in your head when you go to bed.
You have your friends, and then you have your imaginary friends, because everyone has imaginary friends, and then you have your unimaginary friends.
Hey.
That's us.
Hey.
We are your ray of sunshine in the human hell that you dwell in.
Oh my God, David.
Oh my God, Aunt Josie said that made her feel seen. We're there for you, Aunt Josie. We're there for you, CB Actor Traveler. We're there for you, Nancy von Edmondson. And wherever you are, Emily von Wilkinson, we're there for you. We're here for you. We're your friends. We're going to get through this together. We're going to experience it. We're going to make you laugh while we teach you something and while we blow the lid off of shit and while we fucking do something else. I don't know. What? Oh, we're going to eat shit too. Because we know our friends like to eat, right?
Sounds to me like you've answered your own question. Did we do it?
I hope we don't mess it up and accidentally blow the shit off of a guest.
What? But as you all know, like friendships are not perfect. So we will try to be the perfect friend to you, but we're probably going to mess up here and there. And you got to tell us. We need to know.
Yeah, we're here for you, CB Actor Traveler, and we will grow with you with your needs. Whatever your needs are, you tell us. We're there for you. Because we're what? What are we, Aaron?
We're your unimaginary friends.
I have to go take a
No, dummy. You're the thing you love the most. What are we? We are the
cure for loneliness.
We're the cure for loneliness. And what else are we, Nathan?
Interesting.
We're the future of friendship.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's it. All right, so we have some homework to do. We need to organize our private hang. So we will do that. So look out.
look at the compliment the comment that's on.
See, this is why people are gonna be not complimentary to us because we take it too far.
Yeah. Nathan, can you say it in the tone he probably is saying it?
That's enough, David.
Am I ever enough? I know I'm too much, but am I ever enough?
Never enough. Always too much.
Never enough.
Because I'm never enough, never ever enough. Why am all that I am never ever enough? Thank you, CB Actor Traveler.
Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for being our friends.
Why don't we thank each of our 400,000 listeners individually? Let's start. Are you ready? Thank you, Actor Traveler. Thank you, Aunt Josie. Thank you, Nancy von Edmondson. Thank you. We see you out there, Silly Sally. Thank you, Silly Sally. Thank you.
One thing that's been consistent with the show is that every time Aaron tries to wrap it up, David stretches it out with absurdity.
1 hour feels good to me. It feels like this is the right time to wrap up. Right, guys?
Follow us on the Twitter, on the Facebook. We're going to have a TikTok that's going to be launched soon. So you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Everybody be quiet. If you want to wrap it up, you have to be quiet.
We are.
What the fuck?
God damn it! The sound got stripped off.
Oh,
okay, yay!
All
right, beat it, bitch!
Yeah.